Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Well, it's been a few days and 4,888 miles later, I'm in Maine. Let's take a minute to look at my background. It's not complete yet, but I know some of you regular viewers like to check things out. Okay, and I'll point to a few things and there'll be more things added as time goes on. So I have a old-time kaleidoscope there that has a interchangeable dial to change the picture, so that's already out. Behind me is a crystal you never could see in my old videos because it was on the wall in front of me. So that's one of my favorite. It's got natural, those are called veils in it. And it's one of my most prized gems. Got a feather just because, and a fluorite tower, and then a spherical container of spheres that my daughter started me on. A little Alaska going away gift from my friend Cynthia, and some books are out. Over here, a globe, even though I'm not so sure that globe is still appropriate for our reality, but it's a gemstone globe. And, at the time that I got it 30 years ago, it was, just something I had to save and work for. So it meant a lot to me. Got a few books out, but I've got 6 more boxes and a suitcase to go before it's all done. Oh, one other thing behind me, cast iron, just imitation key. It's not a real one. But I do understand that there's some negative energy in the universe that does not like cast iron. And so I enjoy having a little bit near me. And then I have a small cross stitching project I made years ago that says life is a journey. It's got some suitcases. And then you can thank Alyeska for the spiral up above. That was supposed to be a candle surround. And I could not keep her from trying to eat it. And it's harmful. It's not natural. And so it ended up becoming a wall decoration. And just with the energy involved with spirals and things like that, I just thought, it actually works better. So that's a little introduction to what you'll be seeing in the background as time goes on in my new location here in Maine. And let's talk. Okay, first of all, today's date is Saturday, March 18th, 2023. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Of course, what one isn't, as far as I'm concerned. And I am hearing in the news that Mr. T is talking about even that an arrest is imminent over a misdemeanor charge. Let's take a look at that and see. Now, remember, folks, 2 weeks ago, it was Train Derailment Week. We were all supposed to be focused on that and feeling low about the safety of our rails and our supply systems and everything else. And then last week was Bank Panic Week. And now we're into Mr. T arrest week. Also, Mr. Putin apparently has a charge out. And just like with Mr. T, the ones he's charged with are the ones that people trying to get him for are actually guilty of. Mind-blowing, isn't it? Okay, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. I'm going to share a screen. As always, this information, I'll have a link to my Facebook page, and you can look at these 2 items yourself if you like to. On Mr. T's social media site, this is just a portion of one of his tweets this morning. And he says that now illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which has allowed new records to be set in violent crime, and whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being able to be proven, and based on an old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate, himself, and former President of the United States of America, will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. I hear further he was encouraging people to remove their money from banks. Can't confirm that at this point, but that he was saying that might be some of the best ways to protest. We are, after all, funding our opposition with our taxes and what have you. And I'm not going to talk about alternatives. That's a personal choice that people should make after a lot of due diligence. Let's look at this. Here's some comforting deltas from the 17 team, okay, that happened on 3/21, which will be Tuesday. But this was back in 18 and 20. So 321 on 18, panic mode, enjoy the show. 17, do not fear. Enjoy the show, expect a lot more panic. Okay. Well, I've read about the Mr. T arrest twice. The first time I did, if you go back, what the cards were telling us, it was unlikely. And then the second time it was more likely, but it was reassuring that if something did happen, Mr. T, the original Mr. T, would be safe and well protected. And we've always been assured that Mr. T is safe and well protected in any 17 communication that talks about that. It never mentions that there's peril for him in any way, shape, or form. But this is the first time, to my knowledge, that Mr. T has acknowledged that there may be some plans to have an arrest happen. Now, he is the consummate chess player, consummate, and he has allowed things to happen to set precedents. So I'm wondering, is this setting a precedent again? Okay, like the raid was, like other things that have happened have been. Is it a precedent setting? Is it the fact that this is going to be what actually causes the big reveal about devolution, and the fact that he's more than what the MSM would have us believe? So both sides can play games, both sides play chess, although I do believe that the white hats have learned in Mr. T to play it much better. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say though. All right, we've got those reassuring deltas coming up for that same day, 321. And I'm not too worried. And you know, part of the reason I'm not worried is because they want me to be worried. And I refuse to live in fear and anxiety and worry. But I do believe that the cards can give us information, and they'll tell us if there's something to worry about and what that might be. So we're going to ask the cards for insights into this upcoming Tuesday event that Mr. T mentions. Okay, so will there be some form of arrest of a person who is seen in the public eye as Mr. T? And are there other insights and information the universe wants us to know? Let's find out. Okay, insights and information, please. And it's about Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, Mr. T's possible, or a person who is seen in the public eye as Mr. T arrest. Is there insights and information that we should know, and advice? Okay, we have the Nine of Wands, Knight of Cups, Two of Wands, Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, lots of cups showing up. Cups are emotions. Queen of Wands, and Five of Cups. My Biden card. Okay, so our question was indicated by the Nine of Wands, and I'm seeing just overall nothing that is alarming in what the cards are telling us so far. And let me just give you some overview. It looks like this is, first of all, a part of a plan, and it's moving forward according to plan. And I'm talking about a white hat plan, even though the deep state has theirs too. But again, knowing that in the end, good wins and God wins, it kind of helps you stay a little calm and ride out the storms. I'm wondering if we're going to hear that phrase that we've been waiting on so long, the storm is upon us. Okay, let's talk then about specifics that reassured me and let me know that my intuition was probably correct. With the Nine of Wands, that is a card of courage and resourcefulness, and again, resolve. Okay, so if this happens, First of all, Mr. T has some courage, okay? To agree to this plan from day one. I'm not just talking about this particular plan. And the Knight of Cups, that's a card that talks about trickery and fraud. It's reassuring to me that, again, if there is an arrest, the actual Mr. T that could come to harm and derail the plan or severely change the course of the plan's trajectory is not going to be involved, not at all. Okay, in the recent past, we have the Two of Wands, and that is a card that shows where you're stepping out in some new, with a known path in front of you, the whole world's ahead of you. And these are kind of gateway, and we've been hearing news about gateways. So there's some gateway, the way the wands are separated there. And again, just reassuring that we're setting out into some new uncharted territory, but it's a good place to go. Why do I say that? Looking at the current, we have the Six of Cups. Now, cups are emotions. This is a very happy, joyful card. There's no way to read it negatively, even with other things beside it that might, impact a card's meaning at sometimes. And this is a card of reconciliation. So this is part of reconciling fact to the fiction, to getting some truth to become more evident and part of our everyday world, even for our beloved normies. Now let's look at the near future. We're going to be not at all worried and very, very happy. This is my 90% card. We're going to be very happy with how this plays out. Okay, nothing to worry about. Queen of Wands is our strongest insight card here. When she shows up, she's a card of optimism and inspiration and a lot of honesty, and we need some honesty coming out. So we may be seeing that there's going to be some disclosures here that actually end up impacting who? Let's look at the other side, the less important insightful card. Here's my Biden card. So there may be something coming up about balloting and Mr. 46's true place in government hierarchy. Okay, I have to be careful how I say things. But truth, we're going to be happy about it. Someone, Mr. Sad Sack, is not necessarily going to be so happy. Let's get a few other cards and see if we have some further insights to get from the universe. Ooh, a major arcana, our first one showing up, the World. Again, now these are for looking forward. What can we expect? This is a victory card, and it does indicate for the whole world. It may be time for things to start resolving and for us to get back on a path that we should have been on long ago. And I say by us, I mean the human race. We got a strength card again, reassuring us that this is going according to plan, and the White Hats operate from a position of strength in both the planning and divine support. Now, whatever your lens is for that, whether it's truly just what we call divine, or if it can, if it accepts the fact that there's off-world energy and intelligences that are helping our planet to get some restoration that is much needed. We are operating from a place of strength. The Death card showing up, which is nice to see actually, because this is about long, slow change. And so a long, slow change, maybe a 26,000 year one, is finally coming to a head. And finally, we have the Seven of Swords. Now, he's just a reminder that the team behind 46 will try to make away with whatever they can, maybe convert some fiat money into real money before they leave or whatever. But no, not nearly as much as they hoped. And definitely, they're not only settling for second best, they're settling for about 52nd best. So no worries there, none at all. Now, a reminder, since we had so many cups in this original spread, before we started seeing the major arcanas, which means these things that are happening this coming week are already pretty well set in stone. They're going to set in motion, and they're going according to a plan. Okay. Before we saw those, I just wanted to remind you that they're playing on our emotions, and please don't allow that to happen. And why do I say that? It's because fear is a useless emotion. It serves no purpose. Okay. It's caution on overload. Okay, now I'm not saying there's nothing to have some concern about. I'm just saying, don't be fearful. And especially once you realize there seems to be a calamity a week that they want us to focus on and be distracted by. I mentioned 2 weeks ago was train derailment, and we had bank week, and now we're gonna have the Trump Putin drama playing out. That's this week's, okay? Our job is to hold the line and hold the line with our spiritual and personal elevation and vibration. Okay. Now, you don't understand what that means, just a little kind of like a primer on that. What that means is recognizing when your emotions are being played on and not playing along with it and saying, I don't choose to live like that. I don't choose to live in fear. Okay. Now, as for the other things that Mr. T was advising, like money and things like that, I'll give no advice on that. You do what your conscience leads you to do, and what you do after reflection and careful consideration, okay? So that you can be happy that you weren't pushed into a course of action, that you chose it freely, and you stand by it, right or wrong. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me for my first official one as a Maine resident. And I wish you love and light, and remind you that tomorrow we'll be having a meditation, and our meditation is going to focus on discernment.
The first time you made a sale online was also the first time you heard of a town named
Dinosaur. We just got an order from Dinosaur.
Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Saturday, March 11th, 2023. And there are lots of things happening in our world, and there was one that was just on my heart tonight to speak to you about because people are worried about it. And that is our financial system. We've talked in the past, and it's time to address it again, that our fiat money system is in its dying stages. It's going to be eventually, after some death throes, and hopefully calm acceptance on the part of those of us that have done our homework, it's going to be replaced by an asset-backed currency system that's going to be much better. Okay, but as I said, these death throes, they are not pleasant, and it's easy to pick up on the panic of people that were heavily invested in the fiat system and maybe aren't as aware of the fact that there is a quantum financial system paired with the fiat system and is ready to, everything's mirrored and ready to roll once the death throes are done. So personally, when I'm hearing that there are banks that are insolvent or that the stock market is crashing, I'm kind of glad to hear it. And hey, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. My money is in a bank that I know is insolvent at the moment. I'm not taking it out. I have some cash on hand, and I'm not a big investor. I don't have bonds. I didn't do the currency thing where I need a special appointment to get things revalued. I'm just going on faith that there's a mirroring of the system, and after some blips, it's going to be in good shape. So, and I think I speak for the majority of us that would be the case. We're not bondholders. We didn't speculate in currencies, that kind of thing. We're just average Americans that have an income, hopefully, and live within our means and have some checking and savings accounts that we worry about. And so I thought, let's look tonight at the financial system, okay? And we're going to do a read about it in a minute, but let me show you a short compilation I did tonight. As always, it'll be available on my Facebook page if you'd like to review it further. And if not, just listen as I quickly go over it. I'm going to share the screen now and show you what I came up with. Okay, well, first of all, I just thought this was funny. The S&P 500 is in a downward trend. This is March 9th, March 10th. I think Monday it's going to be even more of this decline unless they manage one more time to do a short full string of it. But the downward trend is absolutely heading our way. Okay, now I have included a 30-second, and there were many that had this up. This is just a reminder of when Mr. T was saying that if 46 got into office, there would be a stock market crash. Okay, and that it would possibly exceed that of 1929. Then I included a very mainstream thing about the Silicon Valley Bank, how it has failed in the last couple of days. And the second bank, California Bank, has also been seized because of its insolvency. And so the FDIC is taking over things. So without a doubt, we have banks failing and a stock market that's in decline. And as I said, to me, those are positive signs. Okay. And like I said, too, my money's where my mouth is on this. But let's see what the universe has to say. I'd like the universe to give us some insights and information about our current financial system change, how the process of change is going, and insights and information about financial dealings in this present window of time on this timeline for people like you and I. Let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, insights and information about the current upheaval in our financial markets, and insights and information about how to be mindful about them and moving forward. Now watch, I'll get information like, you stupid woman, you should have got all your money out while you could. Let's see what it has to say though. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, the Lovers, very reassuring card so far, guys. Six of Cups, the Empress, and the Five of Wands. Okay, as always, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing from the cards, what intuitively that's inspiring in me, and then I'll talk about what elements of the cards led me to those conclusions. Okay. The first of all, yes, our financial system is in flux. It is, though, being cared for and paired with the, as I said, the quantum financial system. Okay, there's nothing alarming in these cards, nothing at all that would alarm me. Okay, or make me say, oh, darn, I should have got my money out of that bank. Well, I could have. Okay, so, and then we're being just reassured that even though there's going to be some doomsayers, some people trying to, and we'll talk about that too, trying to foster panic, trying to create some chaos and upheaval. Okay, those of you that are going to be doing like I did, have a little cash on hand in case there's a few days of blip in our money system, we're going to be fine. Okay, now let's talk about that in a little more detail. Our question was indicated by the Knight of Wands, one of my white hat cards. Okay, so right even there, it's reassuring. Wands are a fast energy, so we are quickly coming to the time when we will have that stock market crash. We will have more banks failing. We will have, during that failure, until the new system is publicly in place, there will be some interruptions in our cash flow access. That's why it's good to have a little cash on hand. Okay, possibly there's been enough proactive actions in the background that even if we can't get our cash, maybe our cards will still work. That's going to be situational depending on the institution. But again, have some cash on hand. And I'm saying why I'm not worried is because it's being clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, and she is a queen of optimism and very much one of security. So our money's secure. Absolutely, it's secure. No matter what we're hearing, you know, and you know the MSM is in the deep state's pockets, and they're going to do a lot of blackpilling and dooming about this. We need to just rise above it and look beyond it. I say that because in the recent past, we had a Page of Cups. Page of Cups is a card that usually talks about a pleasant surprise, okay, a gift. We have a gift and a pleasant surprise headed our way. It's been set up, that's recent past, so it's already set up. Now we have the Lovers card, which tells me there's a pairing of the financial system. But not only that, but the Lovers card, when it's not talking about romance, can often be talking about the challenges of making choices that affect others or dealing with choices made by others. Okay, so but the main thing I'm getting from this is the fact the pairing here, that they see that they're ready to join hands, work together, and keep that changeover for those regular people like you and I who aren't into heavy duty bonds and things like that, you know, don't have currencies that we need to exchange that we're hoping to get rich on. Okay, it's ready to be paired. Looking ahead, more reassurance with the cups. Cups are emotion card. This is one of reconciliation. So again, the two systems are paired. They're ready to be reconciled and roll out. Reassuring us on the other side, we have the Empress. I love how the last few reads, our feminine energy is really showing up. She is a major arcana card, okay? And when a major arcana shows up, like with the Lovers here and with the Empress, those events that they are speaking about really can't be altered. So at this point, there's nothing can stop what is coming to our financial system, okay? The fiat system will continue to fail. We will be a little jealous of those people that are already in the BRICS asset-backed system, which is over half the planet, okay? Because they're not going to go through the upheaval that we are. But it's paired, it's ready to go, it's ready to be reconciled and to roll out. Now, this is our less important insight card. It's just reminding us that this change is going to be, there's going to be some opposition to it. Even now in the 11th hour, the deep state and those that were part of our banking slave masters aren't going to be going down without a fight. And since a lot of times those same people had appetites we can't even fathom, had agendas that we couldn't conscience, okay? As they go down, they want to take as much of our positive energy with them as they can. And maybe even some people that feel like it's the end of things having this happen. It's the end of a system, but it's a chance for a new and better one to be rolling out. Let's get a few more insights from the cards, okay? The Emperor shows up, our third major arcana, our absolute top Mr. T card, White Hat Alliance card, just the whole shebang right there. Okay, it's under control. We have our Nine of Cups showing up. That means that's always my 90% satisfaction card. Okay, 90% of us are going to be very happy with this. I think ultimately everybody will, but 90% of us are going to be really happy as we get through this process. We have the Queen of Swords showing up, another strong feminine energy. And she usually, she's very objective and intelligent and clear thinking and reminding us to stay clear thinking. And when people are shouting, oh no, it's worse than 1929, well, good. I'm glad. Let's let it fail. And finally, we have our Four of Swords here, okay? That means there's some background information we might not have. It's also often, again, when we got it can mean just the same as the Page of Cups, hidden blessings. So there's good things on the way. So let's recap. I asked the cards for insights and information about the upheaval in our financial system and how we should be navigating through all this. And I'm seeing nothing that didn't already intuitively speak to my heart about that. That yes, there is upheaval. There is going to be, again, there's going to be more banks that fail. There's going to be a crash of our stock market. We are going to be told by the MSM, it's terrible, it's awful, it's the end of all things. And it may be the end of the deep state cabal stranglehold on our money system and the use of it for such horrible things as they've used them for in the past. That's good for us, regular, normal humans. In the meantime, like I said, I was putting my money where my mouth is. I'm leaving it in my bank, and I'm just going on faith that when the crash is done, the system will have been mirrored and life will go on as usual, if not actually better than usual. And so folks, please remember, don't allow your emotions to be manipulated. Don't allow yourself to wallow in fear, because fear is a very useless emotion for regular humans, but it's one that feeds energy that we don't even want in this plane of existence. So it can be hard when you're still living paycheck to paycheck and you're still on a tight budget. It can be hard to be calm about money when it's something that's never been that available to you. Believe me, I know. I've spent years working 2-3 jobs, trying to put myself through college, raise my family. You know, I mean, I know. I know. I've worked 60-hour weeks for years at a time. I know what it's like to struggle. But I also know what it's like to say, I refuse to live in a fear-filled life. So that's the recap. Yes, our financial system is in flux. Yes, we're going to hear more banks fail. We're going to see more of a decline in the stock market. May not be in the next day or two, but it is going to happen. And then the new system rolls out. We're going to be amazed at how much better it is. And if we allowed ourselves to feel fear and anxiety and maybe even run and get our money out of the bank, I feel a little foolish if we did that. Okay, so again, I'm cautiously optimistic that we are really close to this happening, really close. And if you can afford to, have a little cash on hand. Just like I've said, if you can afford to, have a few days worth of food and water, things like that available to you. Okay, do what you can afford to do, but do it within reason, because I don't see us having to get ready to build civilization over from the ground up. We just may have a few blips as we dust off the porch and get rid of those fiat people again and move on to where we needed to be all along. Realizing our potential as humans, being free for the first time in generations, and having hidden technologies and remedies available to us that we are only hoping for and possibly can't even dream of at this point. So, chin up, guys. Keep that smile on. Keep the faith. Okay. Stay positive. A little prepared helps too, you know. And we got this. We really do. We have it. And you know who doesn't? The deep state and the fiat money system. And that's the way it should be. They need to be gone. Until next time, I send you love and light and all things bright. Good night.
Shop Michael's lowest prices of the season. Save store-wide and online now through March 26th.
Research shows nostalgia can help you remember ads. So customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
There's a lot of people up there. So Elton John once told me, you know, when I do my last song and we knock it down, the place is going crazy, and then they start screaming, encore, encore, come back. And he'll come back, he'll do another good one, drive him. Then he comes back and he hits a little bit of a dud. The people leave unhappy. It's very stupid to do a couple of questions, but let's give it a shot. Should we do that? Should we or not? Yes? Okay. Do we have a mic someplace? We'll take a few questions, ask whatever you want. But you know, it's, you know the story, right? Encores are always dangerous. Especially for singers, you want to know the truth. Go ahead, who's got the mic? Uncle Sam, you do. Good, let's go. What do you have, Uncle Sam? I like that man. I like the way he's dressed. He's a good-looking Uncle Sam. Go ahead. Go ahead. You have a mic? Yeah, go ahead. You could give it to anybody that has a question. Anybody has a question, go ahead. Ma'am, please. Go ahead.
As a member of Moms for Liberty,
Yes,
parental rights and education are top priorities.
yes.
Seems like schools have become indoctrination camps where they're focused on sexualizing our children, and it's just not right. How do we get back to the basics in the classroom, teaching, reading, writing,
And arithmetic.
right,
That's right.
and civics? Thank
Well,
you, Mr. President.
Everything I said tonight, they could say he's conservative. He's got a wonderful conservative voice. Actually, it's a voice of common sense. And with education, almost in many ways easier than other things, we have to get back to common sense. And that is reading, writing, arithmetic. What they're teaching in schools today is insane. And most people understand it. Even the people that want it, they understand it. So we're going to do something. And a lot has to do with your governors and your people that are leading your states. And, they're going to be given free rein to do what they want to do. You happen to have a great governor that's very much into it. And she's taken this state so far. And we'll have other governors doing the same thing. And it's a really great question. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, please, go ahead. Go ahead. That's interesting. Yeah, Trey Gowdy's very good. I think he's very good. We're going to have a lot of great choices for vice president. We're going to pick a great one, but we're going to have a lot of great choices. This whole process is interesting. There are those that say they're all campaigning right now to be vice president. We've heard that a little bit, right? But I will tell you, we'll pick a great one. Thank you very much. Interesting. Okay, question over here. Go ahead.
Hi, welcome to Laura's. Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, March 5th, 2023. I have really missed you guys. I'm in the process of moving from Alaska to Maine, and I am currently in Fort Nelson, British Columbia for the night. The kiddies and I are in a mom and pop hotel, and safe and sound, and having a few little adventures as we go. Some of them planned, some of them not. You know how it is with travel. But even though I have limited equipment at my fingertips, I did want to try to make a video tonight and talk about Mr. T's CPAC speech this weekend. One thing I noticed was that he used the term April Fool 7 times. Now, Mr. T isn't given to repeating himself with an unusual phrase like that unless there's significance. And I thought, gee, let's find out maybe if we can, what's going on with that repetition of April Fool 7 times during his speech. Now, it could simply have been that he was having a good time at 46's expense, because that there's a lot of foolishness that's been associated with 46, hasn't there? Okay, but there's some other things too that deal with April Fool. And let me share the screen to a Facebook compilation that I'll have a link to if you'd like to look at these items in more detail. Okay, well, first of all, there's a 3-letter agency that has used the term April Fool numerous times, and you can check here and see when that happened. And then the only reason the following 7 items are here is because there were 7 of them. 17 has posted a total of 7 times using the phrase April shower. So not an exact match, but it was an exact match on the 7. It was an exact match on the April. And so it's possible that this is a Q proof. 17 proof. I hope the AI sensors don't get me for that. Okay, so let's ask the cards, okay? What is going on with the repetition of April Fool in that speech? What was going on with the person seen in the public eye as Mr. T, who spoke at CPAC and mentioned April Fool 7 times, plus any other information or insights the universe wishes to share? Let's find out.
Okay, the person seen in the public eye as Mr. T spoke at CPAC and used the term April Fool 7 times. What information or insights can be shared with us about that repetition and his speech? And again, I appreciate your patience. Like I said, I've got a very small space to work with, limited equipment. Even at the best of times, I'm a home production, but now I'm a suitcase production. Okay, we have the Two of Cups, Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I will show you some of the things in the cards that lead me to make these statements. First of all, Mr. T was having fun at 46's expense, yes, but there was some clear communication that was embedded in his speech. And I think he's really optimistic about the near future being April. And let me show you why I'm saying that. Okay, first of all, we were asking about what was the significance and was there code involved with the speech last night? The Two of Cups is a very clear communication card. So yes, he was clearly communicating. It was very intentional. His use of the phrase April Fool 7 times. Okay. And then the further insights are had with the Queen of Wands, and she is also about communication and accomplishment. So there is something that's been happening in the recent past that he feels really, really positive about. First of all, this ace is a yes as far as codes and layers to his information, but recent past, something fantastic has, there's potential for new beginnings for him, okay? Whether it's to openly be our chief executive or what, we'll have to wait and see, but he's really excited about it. We have a Knight of Wands showing up here. Knight of Wands is one of my white hat cards, and that's for the current. And he talks about, he's very forward motion, full speed ahead. And on the other side of him, kind of tempering that a little bit, the Queen of Wands she can be brutally honest, but very fair and just and clear thinking. So we've got some wands here, and wands are our action words. So in the present, he's expecting some actions to be made evident that are going to let us know what he was feeling so positive about in the recent past. Now let's look at the near future. We have Queen of Swords showing up here for the potential. Now, swords are our thoughts and words written and spoken. Again, a nod to his speech, but also about justice. Very fair. The Queen is involved with that. She has to be, because the Devil over here, for our further insight, it's not really giving us information that directly involves the Queen of Swords, but it's just letting us know further insights is there's been a lot of shenanigans going on. And I think he's gotten a handle on some of it, and he's really looking forward to April as being a pivotal time for some disclosures and forward motion, which is also going on now, but behind the scenes kind of. Let's get some other cards and see if we get some other insights. We got a 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, he's seeing some progress, although there's more to be had. Temperance shows up, which is a teamwork card. Okay, working closely with the Queen of Wands energy. Justice, haha, Devil. And Ace of Cups. Talk about a pleasant read here. Okay, so the Justice card is simply that. The shenanigans are going to be facing some justice, and it may simply be, we've got some tribunals coming up, and that may be it. And I'm not just talking about in the United States, but Mr. P over in Russia has been saying that he is going to conduct those for crimes against humanity and the biolabs. Interesting stuff, huh? So Mr. T's excited about that justice card showing up in the Ace of Cups here for our final cup. And that's potential for accomplishment showing up here and just emotional fulfillment, lots of feelings. He really thinks he's really feeling positive, okay, about something that's happened in the recent past. And he's hopeful that in the next few weeks, he'll be able to disclose that progress and information just a little bit more. So while he was having a little fun at 46's expense, he was also letting us know in his own special way that there's been some things happening in the background that involve justice. And he's excited about it. Got Pentacles showing up here too, so may involve the money system. So we're going to have eyes on April and see what's happening. Okay, let's do a quick recap here. Mr. T's speech had layers as usual to what he was conveying. He was having a little fun at the expense of 46, okay, as being rather foolish and making poor decision after poor decision with almost no course correction. What's up with that, huh? And looks like the April is, he's trying to let us know there's some significance in April that may involve, I say our money system, because we had in the near future, the Pentacles showing up. We also had farther in the near future, the Justice card showing up, and it was landed on top of the Devil card for Shenanigans game, okay? So there may be some more overt and open information coming our way in April. So not so much coded, but actually more direct. So let's hope it does. I'm ready for our money system to change and all sorts of systems to change. And maybe to have truly elected people in elected office. Wouldn't that be sweet? I'm not seeing that for April. That's just a personal wish. That's Laura's view into things here. So that's it for this video from Fort Nelson, British Columbia. Thank you so much for your time. And I do appreciate every one of you. And as I've been traveling, I mean, it's been so heartwarming. The love, the prayers, the positive intentions, the offers for hospitality and everything. I've just, you guys amaze me. So thank you so much for being part of this. And I'll see you next time on Laura's View and Tarot 2. Good night.
When pain says I'm here, I say, so are they. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve. Who do you take it for?
This is the perfect government of God. Done here. Amen. God bless. Love you all. Adjust your crowns, guys. God loves you. Bye.